I hope these kids are learning that from watching us. But someone in your life is learning from what you're doing and the example that you've created and the toughness that you have.
Awaken the leader inside. Follow the path of leadership. Never give up. Never stop trying. Get up. Believe in yourself. Not every day is going to be easy, but you got to challenge yourself. You need courage. Be ready. Stop waiting for it to happen. Go make it happen. Harness the power within. You are destined to be a leader. Follow the path of leadership. Awaken the leader inside.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is Dave Rubalcava, and I'm your host here at Awaken the Leader Inside, a show dedicated to your leadership journey. Remember, you are never alone. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode. And today I thought a lot of a couple of topics that I wanted to talk about, and I kind of kicked some around, and then I just kind of finally decided that maybe after all these episodes, maybe after all these years, right? Because this is year 3 now, I think, that we're in it. Maybe I'll just share a little bit more about myself and a little bit more about kind of my personal journey. I know you guys know a lot about my professional, I was in retail 18 years and all this kind of stuff, right? But I don't know if I've ever really shared kind of where this all started for me, or like how did I even get into management, which you can find those videos actually on my YouTube channel as well, as I kind of just share quick stories about what happened to me in my career. But I don't think I've actually ever really deep dived into it with you guys through the podcast, and I'll be completely transparent. There is a reason for that, and I think I wanted to present something that was from a professional level. And I'll be honest with you guys, because look, at work, I'm professional. So I'm going to share, my journey with my team, but I don't always share my entire journey, and all the hardships and where I came from and the struggles I had on a personal level, to all of my associates. I just don't. Some I do. Some I find, that need to hear it from someone else, because I think the common misconception with me is that, I had a college degree and I walked into management, and, all life is, sunshines and rainbows and everything's been great. And I've always had a great career, and that's why I'm successful. Wrong, because that's not what happened. And so I thought I'd share a little bit just kind of about my background and my upbringing. And, it wasn't that I didn't want to share it. I just kind of didn't think it was relevant until maybe now. And maybe I think it's more relevant for those of you that are out there that need to hear that, where you come from and where you start have no relevancy when you're trying to get to where you want to go. And that kind of sounds strange. And most people will say that's BS. But let me tell you something, man. You can change perceptions. You can change how you present yourself. You can change the way you talk to sound more educated and whatever. I mean, you can change things about you. The question is, do you want to, or do you feel like you need to? And that's like $1 million question. But I wanted to share just kind of where I came from, man. I came from a humble beginning, man. My mom, God bless her soul, she raised 4 boys by herself for, up until I would think about maybe 10 when she met my stepdad, and she had to do it alone, man. And unfortunately, my dad, I didn't have a great relationship with, and he was absent in our life. I'm not going to harp about it. I'm not going to cry about it. I made my peace, and, he's already moved on. He passed away. And, it's unfortunate that he wasn't a part of my life and got to meet my kids, but we all make life decisions, But my mom taught me something, and I look back on my life, and this is more from a life standpoint, but you'll see how it ties into leadership. My mom, even though she may not realize it, she set the example for me. Single mom, going back to school at night, very similar to what my wife has done, ironically, and that's probably why I have a lot of admiration for both of them, and did what she had to position herself to do something better, do something more for us, her children, as she was raising us. Now, were things easy? Absolutely not. They were not. They were difficult. My mom did her best, and I'm proud of her for doing that for us, just like I'm trying to do my best for my family as well. And you do what you can to make your kids happy and make them comfortable, and I have no complaints about that. But she set the tone for me, and I look back on my life, and I'm like, man, if my mom can do this with 4 kids, 4, go back to school, get a job, take care of us, and do the best that we can. Do we have everything? No, but we had enough, right? It set the tone and it set the benchmark for me in my own life that things can be hard. Yes, they were hard, and at one point when my mom remarried, there was seven kids in the house. So there was such a huge family to take care of between her and my stepfather. And it was tough, but they did it. And they did it, you guys. And so I grew up realizing that it's not going to be easy for me. It's just not. And I came to accept this probably when I was about maybe 17 or 18 is when I realized I'm going to have to fight for my survival. I'm going to have to fight. If I want a car, I'm going to have to get it myself. If I want to go to college, I'm going to have to do it myself, because unfortunately, this is where we're at. Raising a big family, that's kind of where we're at personally in my own life right now. We have a big family and we want to do the best we can, but it's tough when you have a big family. And I realized I have to fight for some things for myself. And so I think when I was 18, and this is how my career started. And I don't know if I've ever shared this with anybody actually on the podcast or videos, is my freshman year, I had financial aid, right? So they paid my first year. I was like, yeah, great. Yeah, my grades are good enough and all that kind of stuff. And I got in my first year. Second year, they're like, sorry, you don't qualify, kicked me off financial aid. And then I was like, crap. So I had to get a job to pay for it, right? And so I did. I got a job at Target, worked my butt off for a couple years, just part-time in the evenings, go to school during the day, and all that good stuff. And then I had my oldest. I had my oldest, Brian, and that's when things kind of really changed for me. And right before he was born, I think is when I got promoted. And I was very motivated because I'm like, damn, I have to raise a child now. I got to pay rent now. We moved out and all that stuff. And I realized life's responsibilities just plopped on my lap. So I was absolutely ill prepared for that. I think I was about 22 or 23. I was not prepared, one, to be a father, in all quite honesty, because that's a challenge in itself, being a parent. And then two, recognizing that I was actually fighting for my career at the same time while going to school at the same time, and then trying to raise a family. And you can just tell things were gonna kind of come to a boil at some point, which it did, and kind of all the pieces kind of imploded. And I think I was just really too young at that moment. The only thing I had to latch on at that moment was my career. And the only thing that I had was, because I was struggling to get my degree. Honestly, I had a professor that discouraged me and told me that I didn't care about my education, refused to sign my documents that would allow me to register the next semester. We exchanged some words, more me exchanging words with him. And that was the end of my academic career for about 4 years. I gave up. I let somebody push me around and tell me that I wasn't good enough, and I quit. And so over the next 4 years, and these are the 4 years that I talk about, that I struggled as a leader, and I was trying to get better, and I was told that I sucked at being a leader. They couldn't believe how I got promoted, all that stuff. Those 4 years were like the transition for my life. Those for the 4 years were so many things were happening to me, and I was searching for myself. I was searching, one, to figure out how to take care of my family, but two, searching to be the best at whatever I did. And I'm going to tell you something, that failure in school, that I never let go of that. And that ate at me for about 4 years. It ate at me, like feeling like I gave up on something. I allowed someone else to influence me enough for me to quit and give me an excuse. And maybe I was just searching for that. I was searching for an excuse to give up because it was already hard. And that guy gave it to me, man. And it didn't sit well with me. And so after about 4 years, I decided, you know what, I'm I'm going to go back to college. I wasn't thinking about my degree yet because I think I was a junior. I had enough credits to be a junior in college. But I said, I'm going to go back, take a couple of classes, and I'll just get this business management, certificate, because I just needed like 3 more classes or something at the junior college to get it. And so that kind of started my motivation. And I'm going to tell you something that I realized when I was just taking these few classes. I realized, no, I'm going to go all the way, because I have to right a wrong in my life. I have to right that I allowed someone to push me to the edge to when I gave up, and now I'm going to go pursue to prove that person wrong. And even though I don't even know the person's name anymore, the professor's name, it doesn't even matter. I set out on a quest to prove that guy wrong. And I did it. It took me another few years, I think another couple of years actually, because I did a few years at the junior college. Then I went back and, University of Phoenix, finished my degree, whatever. But total, it took me about 15 years to finally finish my degree. Now, you might be asking yourself, David, why are you sharing all this stuff with us? Because I want you to know something. I want you to know something about me. And I think it's really important that you self-reflect. There has been catastrophic failures throughout my entire life. And yeah, it is easy for me to sit here and say, do this, do that, and you'll be great. But the truth is, it doesn't matter if you don't believe in what you're doing. And no matter how hard it gets, and I want you to recognize this, because no matter how hard it gets, if you don't believe in what you're fighting for, if you don't believe that you can change your circumstances, if you don't believe that you have control, you are going to struggle probably the rest of your life and the rest of your career. It's about the fight, man. And I put it to life, man. Life beat me up, and I literally stood up and said, is that all you got? Because now it's my turn to fight back. And this is how I did it. I pursued my degree. I pursued moving up in a company. I put in the hours. I put in the work. I blood, sweat, and tears. A lot more tears than I probably will ever want to acknowledge. But there was a lot. There was a lot of those moments where sitting alone in the car or sitting alone at home and breaking down because I didn't know if I could handle what was happening to me. But I always remember what happened at school, what happened with me quitting, and that stuff never left me. And so every moment that I think about quitting, those things pop back in. And I'm not okay with that. But I realized I had something else to fight for. And that was to teach my children, teach my oldest, because the amazing thing, and I hate to ramble on this, but the most amazing thing is he got to watch me graduate. He got to watch me, walk across that stage and get my college degree, get my bachelor's. He got to watch his father that was struggling to get homework done every night, that didn't sleep, that was exhausted. He saw what I was fighting for. And I guess that's kind of the message that I want to share with you, is I learned that same message from watching my own mother. I hope these kids are learning that from watching us. But someone in your life is learning from what you're doing and the example that you've created and the toughness that you have. Toughness is not created. It's not like you're born with it. It comes through trials. It comes through going through the fires. It comes through struggling. The struggle's real, man. That's what changes character. That's what builds confidence, is being able to go through the ring of fire. And so I hope this helps you guys. I hope this kind of shares some insight into, who I am and what I've gone through. And I don't want you guys to ever believe that the grass was greener and things were easy for me, because my friends, it was the exact opposite. And I want you to know I'm still here. And it changed me and it helped me, but it also became the fuel that I needed. And it's the fuel that I need when things get tough for me. It's the stuff that I retrieve that help me keep motivated and help me be inspired. But most of all, remember that I'm not okay with quitting, and I'm never going to allow that to happen to me ever again. So I hope this helps you guys. Thanks for tuning into this episode. Thanks for learning a little bit more about me on a personal level. And I hope that helps. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave the comments. Email David at Awaken the Leader Inside, social media. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Hopefully it helps someone out there. But always remember to awaken the leader inside. Stay tuned to the next episode, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you hit that little bell on the top, right? Now it's time to get to work and let's make it happen.